All right, hello and welcome to another Ledgeview Partners webinar. We hope you're enjoying your November so far and are feeling a little warmer than we are here in Wisconsin. I'm Julia Flaherty, the Marketing Coordinator at Ledgeview Partners. For those of you who don't know us too well yet, we are a business and technology consulting firm who partners with organizations to transform sales, marketing, and customer service operations and processes that are supported by core technologies, including customer relationship management and marketing automation. Our certified experts provide strategic business advice, process definition, and technology solutions that advance your business processes forward, helping you to achieve your unique business goals in sales, marketing, customer service, and CRM. We're glad to have you here today, and we do have a full agenda for you. But before we can dive in, I just have a few quick housekeeping notes to cover, so bear with me here as I go over them with you. For those of you that have been on our webinars before, welcome back. And for all of you newbies, thank you for joining us for the first time. We can't wait to see you back for more. We will be taking up about a half hour of your time today. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All attendees will receive a follow-up email after the webinar is complete with a link to access the presentation. If you haven't already, add @ledgeviewpartners.com to your safe senders list to ensure you get the email. Or if you find an email from us in your spam folder, please go ahead and mark it as not spam. We encourage you to share this link within your company and professional networks once you receive it. To ensure the best audio quality, we have everyone on listen-only mode today, but if you do have a question or comment, please feel free to submit those in the question pane of your GoToWebinar control panel. We will follow up with you afterwards. We at Ledgeview have a lot of excellent resources to offer you when you're interested in learning more about our comprehensive services in customer service, sales, marketing, and CRM technology, from a variety of ebooks to infographics to blogs to case studies and more. We have over 25 ebooks in our current library and hundreds of blogs for you to take advantage of to help you build your own knowledge base, get more insight, and develop your expertise. So after this webinar, you can go ahead and check all that out at ledgeviewpartners.com. All right, now that that's out of the way, it's time to introduce Jody Gilroy and today's featured topic in our new webinar series that we're very excited about, and even more excited that you're here with us to help kick it off. In this new series, we will be giving you an overview of a popular marketing automation topic, show you how it works through a three-way comparison in leading marketing automation technology systems, and give you some best practice tips. Our presenter throughout these live sessions will be a customer favorite here at Ledgeview, Jody Gilroy. Jody is a senior business analyst on our team. She is a proven brand marketer and consultant engaged in the use and integration of CRM and marketing automation to align marketing and brand strategy with technology capabilities. She's an expert when it comes to the execution of digital communications, whether it be with social media, search engine optimization, email marketing, video production, blogging, or website development. And now that you know a little more about her, it's time to welcome Jody and let her get things started for you. Jody, I'll hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Julia, and thanks for that introduction, and welcome everybody to the call today. As Julia mentioned, this is a new series for us, our Marketing Technology Minutes, and we do have a half an hour booked, but I actually plan to shorten this up a little bit. Being a marketer myself, know how valuable your time is, so we're gonna dive in to a topic, and here is our agenda for today regarding customer segmentation. So in these marketing technology minute webinars that we have scheduled, the first thing we'll do is we'll go through a topic introduction and talk a little bit about strategy around, in this case, customer segmentation, give best practice recommendations, and then we're actually going to embark on a platform comparison. So I have 3 marketing automation tools in the lineup for today, and we're going to look at how they do segmentation within the tool set. So if you're new to marketing automation, maybe you haven't ever seen a platform, this will be a good touch point for you to kind of understand how that technology works. And then if maybe you are using one of the platforms I'm showing today, you're going to get a flavor for how a couple others work as well when it comes to segmentation. All right, so let's first start with that introduction. So customer segmentation. In the world of marketing, segmentation as a definition is really that process of taking your database of prospects, your database of customers, and breaking that list down into groups of like people. So segments are essentially your target audiences, a very common marketing term. So that's what we're focusing on today. Segmentation is a very important process when creating targeted marketing and sales programs for that matter. You really need to be keenly aware of who you are speaking to and consider their wants and needs when you're planning your messaging or planning your sales approach. So having proper segmentation and awareness of your audience will help you to do the following. It'll help you define the topic of the message you're sending. What should I be sending? What will resonate with my audience? That will help you to align the content to your correct target group. What blog articles, what case studies, what videos would this audience be interested in? And align proper calls to action to the target segment. Not only who they are, but also what is the sales stage that they're in, and what is that call to action in your messaging. And all this is great, and this is all the reasons why we want to do it, but you know why the number one reason is? It's what your customers want and expect. Think of yourself as a consumer. You want to be spoken to as an individual. You have your own wants, needs, and desires, and you don't really want to be put into a large communication group with a lot of messages that are coming at you that are not relevant. So that's what the benefit of segmentation is, speaking to an audience in a very targeted manner. So how do we do segmentation? What are ways or methods that we can segment? Now, there's many more than what I'm going to list today, but I would say that the next 6 or so that I mentioned are the more common ways to segment. You need to think about your audience. Think about your prospective customers. Think about your current customers. What are those attributes? What are those behaviors that would allow for you to segment them? So common one, number one, lead attributes. These are very much a demographic information, right? The location, where are they located? Especially if you're maybe a regional or a local type company, do you have some geographic constraints that would help you to segment your group? Or maybe their age, their gender, their industry, their business size, the education level of the person that you're working with. Depending on the product or service you're marketing, your lead attributes will differ. There is no one black and white answer to this, right? A lot of gray that can go on depending on your organization. But go ahead and define that and think about what are those attributes, what defines a customer for you, and how will we segment that in our data sets. The next is we have so much behavioral data now available to us from a segmentation perspective. So us as consumers we're out browsing the internet, we're clicking on emails, we're downloading content, submitting forms, we're going to events online and offline, we're purchasing online. There's tons of behavioral data that's being accumulated about us that can be used for segmentation and targeted communications. Buyer personas as well. This is almost like a grouping of attributes that come together to make up that person. So in the example I have here, Software Sally, she's a persona for me. And what makes up her persona? Well, what her job title is within the organization, maybe her age, her education, her experience level, and what her product needs are. So I kind of tally up all of those to come up with my persona. This is a fit for my segment based on those attributes. Another big one is the sales stage. So where is this person in the buying cycle? Are they in what we consider awareness stage? Are they just starting to research and maybe this is their first conversion with you as an organization versus they are in the final evaluation or close process of your sales stage? Those people need to be spoken to very differently. They need different information. They're looking for different content from you based on that sales stage. So a lot of times this data will come This is where marketing and sales alignment comes in, because if they're truly working an opportunity, they're putting them through that sales stage and hopefully annotating that as to where they are in the process. And that data can come back to your marketing teams to execute targeted campaigns. In addition, in lead scoring, this is going to be a topic coming up in one of our marketing minutes, but lead scoring is another way to segment. This is kind of pulling some of the attributes we talked about on like demographic information in addition to behavioral information and scoring those accordingly to your organization. And then you can take those and put those people into groups according to where they fall in a lead score stage. This also can be an indicator of their sales stage sometimes too, is the lead score stage. So depending if they're in the top of the funnel, middle, or bottom of the funnel, are just examples. So, and again, many other ways you could potentially segment, but those are some common examples. So it's important to note that technology, while you could probably manually do this, it's going to be cumbersome and not real effective or efficient. So technology will be needed to execute an effective segmentation strategy. And at the heart of that effort is marketing automation and CRM. You may also have a need for other technologies that will enhance this effort. That could be your social platforms if that's not embedded in your marketing automation technology, maybe your website CMS, maybe you have an e-commerce application, among other potential touch points the customer has. But these tools will play a role in either the collection or the surfacing of the data for segmentation purposes. So those are the kind of the tools you need in place. So today we're going to look specifically at segmentation from a marketing automation perspective. So we're going to compare 3 different marketing automation tools and just take a glimpse at how they handle segmentation. So we're going to look at the Apton platform, the Click Dimensions platform, and the new marketing tool from Microsoft. This is Microsoft Dynamics 365 for marketing. I do want to note that is different if you are a Dynamics user today. That is different than just if you're using Dynamics for sales and then there's the marketing module. This is different. This is a separate licensing and add-on product that you will see and available in D365. All right, so our first tool we'll take a look at is Apton. So give me a second here. I'm going to pull over my screen with that tool set. All right. All right, so we are looking at the Apton platform now. We're going to dive in here to contacts, and they handle their segmentation in the area called marketing lists. Makes a lot of sense. See, if you're building out a segment in here, you would come in. I'm going to show you here in the default folder. Apton does offer an integration directly to Dynamics. Also, if you're a Salesforce user, they do the same for Salesforce. And what you can do is you just import in all of your leads in this example or your contacts. And there's a syncing strategy that is set up through that integration that this will refresh according to the interval that you set. Every hour, every 4 hours, 12, 24, whatever makes sense for your organization. Now, essentially, this is pulling all of your leads over from Dynamics, and you're going to create segments off of that. So this is your big pool, and then you can come in and create a segment off of it. Okay, so in this example here, I have a SBA leads with scoring. So this was just an illustration to show you. To come in, and I created a subsegment here. And I would put in here, I want to pull a certain type of lead. So it gives you a whole bunch of different controls. You'll have different field data coming in, and you can score off of different, or segment off of different attributes. And I'm going to pull up this one here to show you a little more detail. So if I want to do lead scoring, as I used in the, or talked about in the PowerPoint, maybe I want to pull all of my SBA leads that have a lead score of 1 to 10, 11 to 49, or 50 plus. I can easily do that here by making a subsegment off of that SBA leads. we're going to do an edit on this segment. And you can see here what I did in Apton is I used their score control. So they have this pre-built in. I can pick score, and I want to look at an overall behavioral score. And I'm just doing default at least 1 and at most 10. Okay, so that's going to query my database accordingly and pull in the leads that match that. Now I don't have a ton of test data in here, so it's going to say 0, but here's, you get the idea here in the way that that works. Same thing here, then I built that same query from 11 to 49 to 50 plus. In addition, this one here, we'll take a look at an example of behavioral segmentation. Again, they have the behavior module within the Apton tool, and I can click behavior. In the last 7 days, I want anybody that clicked on, and there's tons of controls in here, at least 3 messages, at least 1 of these, and I can pick it'll pull in a particular email message that I want to look at. I can look at particular landing pages, visited web pages on my site, and I can pull this, this behavioral data together. In addition, you can create combination queries here. So not maybe I only want to pull the people that visited my web pages in the last 7 days, on maybe our requested demo page, if let's say we have that. But I also maybe can say in the state of Wisconsin. So you can see you can combine this data and you can create and ors or custom segment queries as well. So a lot of control in here from a segmentation standpoint. They also have a control here for subscription management. So, with GDPR and all those things that are coming to light more and more here from a compliance standpoint, they have a subscription control. So you can pull in those that have opted in to a particular subscription list for you and handle that. And then again, create additional query segments if you wish. And finally, they also have the option here. This is called the direct select segmentation. And basically, it'll pull the database together, and I can come in and just pick individuals if this makes sense. You just change your query method here to direct selection, and you could pull individuals into your subsegment. So the final thing I'll point out on the Apton usage is that with these segments set up like I have right now, whenever the lead master segment updates from Dynamics, it has a cascading approach. So as this one updates, all the subsegments below will automatically update and refresh with new data if they match that subsegment. Okay, now we're going to take a look at our next, which is the Click Dimensions tool. All right, so if you are new to Click Dimensions, the difference here is when I was in the Apton platform, I was working in a separate platform outside of Dynamics. Click Dimensions is embedded as a solution in the Dynamics 365 package, and is now all your work is happening within Dynamics 365. So these are all the various modules that when you have Click Dimensions that are added to your environment. However, because it's in the D365 environment, Click Dimensions uses the marketing list functionality that is included with D365 out of the box. So you have, when you go into marketing, marketing lists, and I created a couple lists here, but this is essentially, if you're using the Click Dimensions tool, this is where you build your segments. And then when you're doing email campaigns, campaign automation, you would pull your segmentation from here to include in your marketing communication. So I just want to show you here, for those that are new to D365, and those for you aren't, creating marketing lists is similar functionality to other functionality in D365, meaning that you use advanced finds in order to query the database. So if I come in here and I maybe want to look at behavioral segmentation, I would just simply click that and the add, and I can show you my example here. I'm looking for all my leads, so you can target at a particular entity. So let's say you wanted to do this segment also for your contacts. You would just create a secondary segment targeted at contacts. So in this case, we're looking for all leads with maybe all the page views that we've had. Again, we're looking at website behavior. So where their page title equals maybe my product page. Okay, so this will pull all the people that have, all your leads that have looked at your product page, and you can set time parameters on here. You can set other attributes, and you have and or statements to kind of group people together. You're going to use that query, and that will populate the individuals that match that subsegment. So here I have an example here of email send behavior. Let's see if it saved it. Oh, no. Okay, so you would use, you would come in here, use an advanced find. And this one I targeted at contacts. And we're going to come in, and down below here is where all the click dimensions data is. And we can look at the email events. So maybe I want to pull all the people that had an email send and what email send. Now, I don't, again, the demo environment here, but I would pick the email template that was sent out, and I would add that in here and do my find. Or if I have additional query criteria that I want, I can keep adding to that here to build out my customer segment. Lead scoring, similar functionality. We talked about being able to segment against lead score. You can do that in click dimensions as well. There's scoring profile, or a scoring module here, or a scoring field. And same thing, is less than or equal to 10, is greater than or equal to 1. Use that query, it'll find people that match, and we will, it'll populate that list. It's the same thing here. I did 11 to 25. And then the opportunity stage, we talked about that earlier, of using marketing or sales data to be able to segment our database. So in this case, I can use related opportunities, because you're working off of CRM data here, which is really nice. And I could say like their status is equal to open right now, or sales stage is equal to what? I want all that are in the proposed stage, and all my contacts that currently have an open opportunity in the proposed stage. I can do a query against that and find those individuals, okay, and add all these members to my marketing list, okay? Now I can go ahead and run an email campaign to that group of people. All right. And then our final segmentation demonstration is around that new marketing product. Again, this is a new release product, so there's some massaging still being done to the tool, I would say, overall, but I will show you here what we know so far and how the segmentation works within D365 for marketing. Similar to Click Dimensions, this tool is embedded in D365. So as a marketer, you're working in D365 to build your segments. You're working off of CRM data right within the environment here. So this is actually just a demo account from Microsoft, so I don't have a ton of flexibility here, but I want to show you. Basically, I came in here to the marketing area, and right here clicked on segments. And they had some pre-populated segments in here that I'm going to show you today. The first one I'm going to show you is the prospects and customers in North America. So when I click on that, you come in and there's a general area that kind of you just put in your basic information, define what kind of segmentation type you want it to be. And then your definition is really where you're setting the criteria. So in this example, they want to pull all accounts with a particular country and region, for instance, USA and Canada. They also want to intersect, they want to combine data with annual revenue. So all accounts that have at least 50,000 in it, and they're unioning data. Okay, so one of the things with A360 Marketing is that you have to remember is it only looks at contacts. It will only segment on the contact level. It will not, while you can pull lead data, it will only look at the context. So that means everybody needs to be a contact in your system for it to be able to segment against. So in this example, they're also looking for contacts with a role is equal to decision maker. And so once they have this definition set, you're going to make this live, and that segment is now available to you for marketing purposes. There's a whole email module set in here too, similar to the other tools with templates, etc., and automation functionality as well. And then here as well, this is just an example where you can see that definition. I can pick the contact, I can do ands or ors, and what else do I want to know about this contact? And I will be able to pull similar, attribute and behavioral data that we talked about in the other two examples. So, all right, that one was pretty quick, but I thought I was going to get you guys out early, and you can tell this was the first webinar. So it took a little bit longer than I thought, but we're going to hit that half-hour mark. So I do want to wrap up today to just kind of pull all this together for you. And as you go to segment, whether you have a marketing automation tool at your disposal right now or you're evaluating that, these are the things that you need to really win at customer segmentation. And that is really number one, is having those right tools and connections. As you can see, the marrying of CRM and marketing automation is really vital to be able to do very targeted segmentation. You're gathering a lot of behavioral data on your marketing automation side. You're gathering a lot of attribute data from your CRM side, and you're going to marry those together to get really good segments. But to do that, number two is very important. You need to have a strong understanding of who your customer is and what makes up your customer profile. So that is an exercise you should go through as an organization. You also need good data. The data needs to be inputted into your CRM, and it needs to be good data. Not, sometimes we fill it out, sometimes we don't. Let's get really good with our teams of putting data into the tools and keeping them updated. Once you have all these things in place and you're creating those segments, you need some good targeted content to be able to send out to your groups, and really people to help you dedicated to creating these campaigns and personalization, because this does take time and effort to put all this together. All right, well, if you enjoyed today's session, and I hope you did, we're going to go through a similar format on December 13th, and this time we're going to look at automated campaigns, nurture campaigns, drip campaigns, whatever you tag them as. Every tool calls it something a little bit different, but we'll talk about the development and nurture campaigns again as a strategy, and then look at the tools. And same thing on January 15th, as we enter the new year, we'll jump into lead scoring profiles, the development of those profiles, and then the usage in those three tools. And as Julia mentioned at the beginning, Ledgeview, we are a business and technology consulting firm, and here are those offerings around sales, marketing, customer service, and CRM consulting. So if you find yourself in need of those areas, certainly reach out to us. And I personally just like to thank you for attending this first session, and would love to get your feedback on the session, and if any ideas for improvement as we move into those December and January events. We'd love to hear from you. So Julia, do you want to just wrap up today's call?
Yes, thank you so much, Jody, for all of that wonderful information. Those tips were so valuable, and it was so awesome to see it all in action. To give us feedback about today's webinar, we ask that you please remember to take our follow-up survey so we can help give you the information and insight that you're looking for. And if you want to join us on those future webinars that Jody talked about, you can find registration links for those on our homepage. If you did miss it in my intro, we recorded today's presentation, and we'll be sending that link to you to access it on demand. You can share that within your professional networks. Be sure to add us to your safe senders list if you haven't already, and with any questions you may have that you didn't get to ask during today's presentation, we are available via email at contactus@ledgeviewpartners.com. And with that, I will wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining us today. We can't wait to see you back for the next one. And to all celebrating, we hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you soon.